Hi, this is Mel. So in this video, what I want to do is show you some cool features with regards to our video player here that allows you to be able to create different profiles for the same video. Here's what I mean. So let's say I have this video here, such that if you see I designated it as profile default. But what I want to do, let's say, as you can see, there was no splash image on this one when it first came up. Let's go ahead and refresh it for you here. There's no splash image because it autoplays. Notice how it auto plays. And then the other thing is, notice that it's also like I said, it's configured for autoplay. There was no splash image that was designated to it. But I'm also, if you look at some of these, there's no downloads. If you look at some of these icons here, none of them allow you to be able to do the downloads. Plus, there's all of this noisy extra sharing buttons here. So let's say now, let's pause this. Let's say now I want to create a different profile of the same video without having to re-edit the video or re-upload a whole nother, production and so on. But let's say I want to create a different profile with the same video. And I want to set it so that it's not as busy down here, so I don't have all those sharing buttons, and that I have a display image here that's shown. And more specifically, let's just kind of refresh this one here. And more specifically, let's say I want to have a splash image instead of no splash image, and I want to configure it so it does not autoplay and that there are no well, it says no downloads, but we actually want to have this one so it does have the ability to download. So I want to have a download button here somewhere, because perhaps you want to put it on a different part of your site where maybe behind a protected area you're allowing your members to be able to download your video, whereas in a public area, let's say you only show the a version that is for public access that they can view online. Okay, so you want to have the same video populate different ways on different areas. So here's how you do that. In the control panel, let's go ahead and find our video. We're back in our little demo area here. So we'll click the Files section, and we'll go ahead and go back into our demo folder. And let's say it's this video here, Marketing Intro. So you already know how to do this. We'll go ahead and change the video settings. And what I've done here is actually created a separate profile. So up at the top, here's our basic video here that we're editing. But over here to the right, there's this little area called Profiles. And what that's all about is actually allows you to be able to designate those different profiles. And what it does is you can create different settings for each one of these. And let's just go ahead and call this, I'm going to go ahead and create a new profile. But it allows you to be able to create different settings, and then that generates different embed codes that you can then put on your website or blog, or different websites and blogs. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new profile, and I'm going to call this Training Demo 2, or let's say 1B, right? Great, so what that has done is created a new profile for us. Now I actually have three. I've got the default, I got the one that I was playing around with right before I talked to you, and then the one that you and I are creating just right now, Training Demo 1B. Okay, so that's this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and configure it just like we would any other video that you've already learned in previous training videos. So I'm going to, let me go away for a minute and just configure this so I'm not wasting your time. Okay, so here we are here. We said we wanted to have this one have different parameters. We wanted to have this, I want to have a splash image. Just to confirm, we're in Training Demo 1B, which is the one we just created. So I'm going to go ahead down here. We'll create a splash image for this one, and that is called Splash. The other thing we said is that we wanted to have this one have the ability to download. So we're going to go ahead and click ability to download the video here. Okay, and then we turned off extra sharing services already, so that's turned off here, and that gets baked into the settings. The other thing we said we want to do is have a watermark, so I'm going to go down in additional features and click the watermark, and we'll choose a file, and this one is going to be, sure enough, Watermark. All right. And let's say we also want to have like an overlay image to display our client's logo at the beginning of the video. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll say image overlays. We're going to change whatever one I had there before, and let's say it's our client logo, and we're going to put that up in the top right of our video, and we're going to have that display beginning at, say, the 5-second point, and then it's going to play until the end of the video. So I'm going to make sure that check mark is ticked. Okay, and then if they want to click it, if they click the logo for any reason, it'll go to some URL that you designate here. Okay, and that's basically it. So what do we say? Splash image, watermark, allow downloads, and oh, we want to make sure there's no autoplay. So we define no autoplay for this one here. All right, so now let's go ahead and save that. Okay, and so here's the preview of what we had set up. And this is for our alternate video, and as you can see, it'll give us different embed codes, such that now, actually let me do one other thing here. I want to create just a quick page that we can quickly demo and view so it stands alone, so I don't have to go through the process of embedding it into my blog site or whatever. So we'll call this create a page, say yes. Here we're going to define it as demo. What do we call these other guys? Profile training demo. So this one, let's call this profile, and we'll have the little quotes there. All right, that's about it, and we are going to give this page a name as well. Oh, here it is. So we've got that name. That's the quick page it's going to create for us. And I'm going to go ahead and click save. Okay, so there's a preview, and this is now the URL that it has created for us in case you just want to create a quick page that you can send to somebody. But for the most part, you'll want to grab this embed code and put it in your blog or your website or something along those lines. All right, so now let's take a look at this. So what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and paste and go and take a look at that alternate video. There's what that would look like, and then here is the default. So let's go ahead and play this default. So that's basically, it's the same video, but what we're doing is we're saying this is going to display one way. Let me mute that. So this is going to display one way on one site because it has a different set of parameters. It's a different profile. And meanwhile, in another area of the site, it displays this way, such that when the user clicks it, as you can see, it's got our little, let me mute myself here. It's got our little logo up in the upper where we designate for our client logo, and then we've also got our own little watermark here for this one to display. All right, so that's all about profiles. It allows you, again, what profiles allow you to do is to be able to take the same video, not have to re-edit it, and also be able to create different displays, different profiles for it that you can show on different websites. So we'll talk to you again next time. Take care. This is Mel.